Hello, happy full moon, happy, Aquarius season. Let's get things in order, first things first. And happy first full moon of 2021. We have a full moon in Leo, hence why I'm really feeling a little cozy and a little cold today, but I still had to wrap some Leo energy in a hoodie. I'm luxury, and this full moon in Leo wants to remind us that we all are a luxury. Thank you for noticing that I just got my lashes done. Also, full moon in Leo vibes. So let me know how you're feeling in the comments below. Let me know. January has been a really intense month of like high highs and low lows. And this is kind of giving us a sneak preview, I believe, for what all of 2021 is going to be. Like some weird, chaotic confrontation, disruption energy, but then also with some really beautiful, harmonious energy for healing, for progress, for integration, for moving things forward. Okay, we're getting our hair done. Amazing. Let me know if anybody else is getting some beauty rituals, routines, feeling like wanting to let their inner star shine a little bit. The full moon in Leo is really a time where I encourage us all to play and to take part in sacred theater, to take part in whatever our inner child wants to do. So this full moon in Leo, I'm gonna give you all a little breakdown of what we can expect, where you can access, figure out where it's going in your chart. So as always, the full moon in Leo, any full moon, it's about opposites, it's about polarity. We have the sun is in Aquarius. For us here in the Northern Hemisphere, it's cold. It's a time we're going within. We're looking at our vision. Aquarius is asking us to own our unique, weird, quirky self for the higher good of humanity and to innovate and to be inspired and to have ideation about, thinking outside the box. Then we have the moon comes in the direct opposite sign of Leo. Aquarius is like the community, it's the theater, it's the crew, it's everyone doing all things together. And then Leo is the one on the main stage, spotlight on them. Leo is all about the me, Aquarius is all about the we. But it's important, I love how astrology teaches us all about duality and nuance. One's not better than the other. We actually need to honor the highest octave expression of both of these signs to feel whole, fulfilled, centered, grounded, clear, right? Okay, right. So let's talk about what that means. So first, if you know your natal chart, or you want to pull it up later, look to see where you have Leo in your natal chart. What planets do you have in Leo? If you don't have any planets, you definitely have a house ruled by Leo. That's where this full moon is probably going to be activating something, illuminating something, or maybe even showing you that the cycle is coming to a close, right? Because full moon is the 6-month lunation cycle coming to a full bloom blossom. A seed that was planted in the new moon in Leo, something maybe either coming to a full circle now, or maybe we're having a next big breakthrough step. And at the very least, the full moon in Leo asks us to embody with wild gratitude, wild celebration, all the parts of our life, especially the really Leo parts of our life. So the key words for this full moon, I'm just gonna rattle some off here, and I want you to think about what does it mean for me to embody the high integrity, high consciousness octave of these words. Creativity, okay? You were born to create. I am sorry. I don't care if you don't identify as an artist. To be alive, to be human is to be an artist, to be creative. You have something you want to share with the world, even if it's creative problem solving. If your art comes out in a non-traditional way, good, bonus points. That is Aquarius season. Maybe your art is the way you dress and self-express. Maybe it's your words. Maybe it's the music you play for other people. We all have an innate ability, and it's in our birthright to want to create. So I want to think about that. Playfulness. Listen, 2021, 2020 didn't really foster a super playful, light, whimsical energy. That's the understatement. But, we've heard about certain teachers and thought leaders talk about joy as an act of resistance. I love the NAP ministry always talks about rest as an act of radical resistance. Same thing with joy. And it's really the work as we get older and we step more into ourselves, it's to shed the programming and to deconstruct and decolonize and just release those beliefs and those thoughts that maybe we grew up with or that we're conditioned to believe that life has to be a certain way. And while doing that, also circle back and return to our inner child and hold them and say, sorry, you believe some of those false truths, some of those narratives, those stories about yourself. Turns out that was all malarkey, to quote our current president, Joe Biden. That was malarkey. You are here to express joy and to be free like you did as a child before those thoughts started to kind of snowball and create this layer around you that blocked your light. This is a full moon to step deeply into your light, to deeply let yourself shine and giving your permission to yourself to do that. And thinking to yourself, what does that look like? So inner child, playfulness, joy, themes, love, fun, desire. Leo rules the heart and the spine. And so this full moon is asking you, what does your heart really want? What is your heart's truth? And maybe how have we been shrinking in that? Because Leo wants us to stand tall. When we stand tall, our hearts actually lead. Have you ever done that with a good posture exercise? When you stand tall, it's like your heart is leading the way if you're doing heart opening exercises. So what is that thing? Does your heart want to remind you this full moon that you're inherently super lovable, super irresistible? Does your heart want to kind of play really big and go after that next big dream or desire in a really unfiltered, unfettered way? Does your heart want to be seen? Does your heart want to involve itself in that sacred self-expression? Does your heart want to return to something that you loved to do as a child, but then you didn't deem it as like productive or valuable as you moved up in our crazy capitalist society? Just thinking about what does your heart desire and how can you stand a little taller in that? How can you have that courage? The root of the word courage is the French word coeur, to live from the heart, okay? So we're all being asked to be super lion-hearted this full moon in Leo. Where do we want to live tall in our heart's truth and do it courageously? Childlike wonder was a word I came up with for this full moon, back to what we talked about. Listen, shadow energy of Aquarius, because full moons bring up shadow energy of both Leo and Aquarius, and a shadow energy of Aquarius is becoming so detached, so logical, so linear, thinking about things from such a scientific point of view that we can almost become a little jaded or feeling a little bit like too big picture thinking, that we lose sight of just the everyday little details that are filled with magic and miracles. So I invite each of you this full moon, set the intention, rub your eyes clean, rub your heart clean of like, what can I see through the eyes of a child? That's why I love being around like my friends' children, my cousins. I love seeing like how they just think it's so magical. It's raining, it's cold here right now. A little kid would be like, let's go splash in the puddles. Or, let's see how like there's a little rainbow that's poking through some of the light and the sun and the water on the windowsill. Or let's look at like, I don't know what your inner child needs to re-see, the perspective that needs to shift on that. So, and then I also put leadership and optimism. Full moon in Leo is a time to, maybe against all odds, against all news feed, against all doom scrolling results, to radically recommit to optimism, okay? We have Mercury Retrograde coming up this week on January 30th, and this is always a time for I believe that this is a very positive Mercury Retrograde cycle for all of us, because we need to circle back to some things that happened over the past 3 or 4 months, tie up some loose ends, get some things out, and just take time to like recalibrate. We all just went through a really wild year, 4 years, and this is going to be a time during this Mercury retrograde where we can just be a little bit like, okay, reconnect, realign. And one thing I invite you to do is just recommit to optimism, not in a spiritual bypassing way, not in a love and light way, but like allow yourself to feel. I felt it during the inauguration ceremony last week. I was like, ooh, hearing youth poet laureate Amanda speak and be like, ooh, what is this funny feeling stirring in my heart? This is hope. This is optimism. This feels good. And I felt elated in that. And I just let myself feel light in that. And I let myself feel optimism and the vulnerability of optimism and joy. Dr. Brene Brown points out joy is the most vulnerable emotion because it's all that heart openness, okay? It's heart opening. So these are things that we're going to meditate on for this full moon. It's in 8 degrees of Leo, which 8 is the number of heart's abundance. I think of 8 Lionsgate, that's in Leo season. So we want to pay attention to numerology always when we have these like key dates happening. So 8 is abundance, it's infinity. It reminds me of the infinity loop cycle of your heart to give and receive from the infinite supply of love, creativity, joy, peace, passion, purpose. That like when you're connected to the universe, there's no lack, there's no wanting, there's just this infinity loop. The more you give, the more you receive. So I want us to think about that, the full moon in 8 degrees Leo. You can look where you have 8 degrees Leo in your chart. Like I said, that might be it's going to be in the house where you see Leo. If you don't have a planet there, it's just that house is what's going to be lit up. Okay, good. We have ascendant Leo. Ooh, I love this. I love when your ascendant is on the full moon, it's an activation around your identity, your most authentic self. If this is your sun sign in Leo, I would also think about, is there something that's culminating from the past 6 months? Let me get the exact date, August 18th. Where were you August 18th? What were you desiring? What were you dreaming of? If you've been working with the moon for a while, you can go back to your new moon journal that day and think about the seeds. New moon in Leo to me is always really sexy. It's really creative. It's juicy. It's hot. Again, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's summer weather. We are feeling ourselves. And just think about the seeds that you planted them. Look back on your journal. Or my good friend Jamie of Luxie Eve Healing always says, look back on your photo albums. Like, I know I measure a lot of my life through my photos. It's how I remember things. So going back to that. And I want us to think about too, again, full moons are about opposites, polarities. And we talked about Aquarius is the us, the community, the collective. It's what we've been talking about a lot this Aquarius season. And we're going to continue to talk about it because I don't really totally believe we're in the age of Aquarius because there's too many astrology school of thoughts about that. I don't really want to get involved. But I did hear Ophi from the Astro Twins this week say that we are in the decade, the astrology, the Aquarius decade. And I totally believe that. So we are in a very Aquarius theme this year and for the next 10 years. So community, collective, how can we go together farther? Power to the people. We the people, we're gonna have to take care of some shit here. No one's coming to save us. We have to do it together. We are the ones we've been waiting for. But then this full moon in Leo drops in right in the beginning of this to be like, hey, but also don't forget, you also have to put yourself first so that you can show up for your community. And the full moon in Leo, the shamanic archetype is the sovereign one, the regal one, the one who leads with radiant self-love so that others can feel like they have permission to also walk in and embrace real, radical, radiant self-love. So this is what I want us to think about. Full moon in Leo time is like, get out a wedding ceremony, put on something white, put on some music, pick some wildflowers, and have a wedding ceremony to yourself. Marry your damn self this full moon in Leo. Commit to yourself. Give yourself a wedding vow of like what you appreciate about yourself, and that I choose me. I will choose me over and over again, because the truth of the matter is that being in the high octave of the full moon in Leo, self-expression, while committing to radical, progressive community care, not everyone's gonna like it. You are gonna ruffle some feathers, okay? So this is why we have to commit to ourselves. And also, we are here to light shit up. You are here to shine like a star, like the sun in Leo. You're not here to burn out, okay? So that's also why we're committing to ourselves. What do I need to take care of myself so I can show up for my community? And where do I need to recommit to being sovereign and being autonomous so that I can, not have to let someone else tell me who I am or take away my power or feel like I need to be, led by someone else's fears or their persuasions or whatever we come across in life, those other people. So full moon, culmination of a cycle. I'm going to talk about some additional things. So does anybody have a birthday on January 28th, 29th? Because this is legit. I put it on Twitter earlier this week, but I was like, can we just talk about how beautiful this full moon in Leo is? I saw the beginning of the month astrology was getting rocky, so I like looked towards the end of the month and I was like, oh, thank God. The universe is loving and wise. We are divinely directed and protected always because we have a gorgeous, juicy end of the month. So in addition to this full moon in Leo, which is just such a heart-centered, juicy, yummy, playful, pleasure-filled full moon, it's also coinciding with the Day of Miracles. So the Day of Miracles happens once a year, and it's when the sun is conjunct Jupiter. So I saw someone talk about their Jupiter in Leo. So the sun and Jupiter are in Aquarius right now, and the moon's in Leo. And when the sun is conjunct Jupiter, Jupiter is our sense of faith and optimism, like I talked about. And it's this open road feeling, endless opportunity, endless potential. And with the sun amplifying that, the sun is where we're meant to shine in this life. It's our light. It's how we light up the spaces and places that we enter. And the light is our life force energy. So in your full moon ritual, if you want one, we have one in our magazine. If you want to make one on your own, that's cool too. You don't really need to do anything to harness this Day of Miracles. I would just say be open. Miracles work best with an open mind, open heart, and childlike wonder, like I talked about before. Because childlike wonder allows us to be like, wow, this is all amazing, and gratitude begets more miracles. Gratitude, awe, and also awe creates openness in us. It helps us to receive when we're closed off, when we're jaded, and we think this could never work out, this could never happen. It's like the universe is trying to knock on our door and we have it all like sealed up. Whereas our childlike wonder heart says, wow, like of course this could happen. I believe in magic. I believe in, that things are working out for me always. And I'm just full of whimsy and wonder and creativity enough to be like, of course this could work out better than I can imagine. I'm going to allow it. I'm going to figure out that I don't have to have in my logical Aquarian mind all the solutions right now. I'm going to let the universe work these miracles. Let them work these miracles. Let them flow through you and to everyone around you, okay? So I just want us to have that awareness. Astrology is all about awareness. To know that this is happening this day is great. Let me get my mind on board. Let me be open to this. It's also, if you want some action steps, some cosmic RXs, this is a great day to finalize creative plans, tie up loose ends with creative projects, or like if you're meaning to push something out, launch something, say you're doing something, this is a great day. A lot of blessings around that. This is a great time to make time for play this day. Just play, be silly, do something, finger paint, sing, make a TikTok, whatever, do a stitching by numbers. I used to do this. I don't know why that just popped in my mind, but I used to do embroidery when I was little, knitting, what feels like play to you. Pursue new romances. If there's someone you've been eyeing up or you want to tell them how you feel and you feel comfortable and you feel safe, this might be a good day to take it the next step further, or dust up your online dating profile. This is going to be a big theme for also Mercury Retrograde. So if you've been meaning to do that, this is a good time to do it. And you could try out a dramatic, bold new look, or mix up your expression, or again, play with your physical self-expression. Put on some fun makeup, play dress up, wear a wig. Just feel yourself. I want you to put yourself out there in a way that feels authentic to your heart. I also recommend, if you set some new moon in Capricorn intentions and goals, this full moon in Leo with this Day of Miracles might be a fun day to bring those intentions, to bring them to life through play. You can write a story around your intentions, like a movie playing out, a screenplay or a short story. Write out those intentions come into fruition in 6 months from now. Make a mood board, a vision board that is 3D, that has pieces of fabric on it and paint, and maybe there's songs that go with it, and make it cool, make it beautiful, make it art right now, okay? Bring these intentions to life. Full moon in Leo and Day of Miracles all of that, okay? So I love that. Yes, Moon in Leo at 11:16 a.m. Pacific Standard Time at 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, Danielle. So these are some of the words. I do want to point out that, it's all beautiful, rainbows and unicorns, always, but we do have some complicated astrology happening also. This first full moon is asking us, like I said, to get in touch with what we love, why we love it, and how we can embody more of that while empowering and holding space for others to do the same. Then something that is going to be also happening that's going to feel Day of Miracles, full moon in Leo, we're going to feel a little tension. We have some square energy. Squares are tension, but it's tension, it's good tension. It's how we go from like breakdown to breakthrough moments. It's how I believe squares hold the energy of transformation in the chart. So the full moon is square Mars and Taurus, okay? So full moon square Mars and Taurus is we might feel some contentious, frustrated energy within ourselves. We might want to feel like we want to fight with others. Full moon in Leo, shadow energy is we could feel like needy or clingy for someone's attention. Just know it's going to pass. Stay in your power, back to choosing yourself, marrying yourself, bring that all in. And just notice that you might need a healthy outlet for frustrations. What is that for you? Back to play, back to creative outlets. You might be feeling all this good, juicy, illuminated full moon energy, and you also just might feel a little bit like frustrated. So what's your outlet for that? Is it movement? Is it screaming in your car? Is it listening to an amazing playlist? All of these things. This is going to be about like, it's kind of a hard truth served up that this full moon in Leo is reminding us that we are, like, how can we take care of ourselves? How can we paying our attention, investing our intention and attention into ourselves, and just noticing how we move differently through life when we do that, and when we don't betray ourselves, we don't give away our power. How does that shift? Okay, so Leo really teaches us to express our emotions, not repress or suppress them. So that's just a little bit of some of that. And I want us to think about, this is going to be a year of deep, radical transformation, revolution for all of us. So we need to right now set the tone of embracing what's joyful for us, making that joy a priority, claiming that joy as your birthright, wearing your creative self-expression as a crown, standing tall, heart out, spine aligned in your truth, all right? So this is the time to really show up courageously, authentically, and to create with love. Because if you're feeling this, if you're resonating with this right now, you are part of the future that we're creating, and we need everyone in that juicy power, in that radiant self-love. Because when someone's in their radiant self-love, it's like a warmth that just warms up other people and reminds them, oh, right, I am here to also love myself, and then to show up and be of service. So that is the full moon in Leo. We have some, like I mentioned, we have Mercury Retrograde. I was dying because I saw that. We're gonna get into Mercury Retrograde later. We have a full retrograde rundown in our magazine. We'll be posting some things later. Sign up for our email newsletter. We're going to be putting out your horoscopes for Mercury Retrograde for your sun and rising. But one thing I just wanted to point out, because you all know I love like the astrology strikes again. The day the impeachment trials start, I believe it's February 9th. I don't have the notes in front of me. Mercury is retrograding back to the exact degree in DC that it was on the inauguration day. So I'm just saying, this Mercury retrograde, just get ready, pour yourself a glass of tea, a mug of tea, because I think it's gonna be served piping hot. I think we're gonna have some secrets and things revealed, things coming up to the surface. And I do believe this Mercury retrograde is gonna offer us a closing, like a suturing, a closing up of some of the more raw, open wounds that we have, so that we can move forward, like I said, courageously, boldly, creatively. And we'll be talking about all of that later on. But I did want to at least just come on and tell you that full moon in Leo is here. We also have this Day of Miracles. And if you're looking for a great self-expression, one of our team members, Charlotte Miller, makes these amazing playlists for the Zodiac season, and she does such a fun job curating them. So I'm going to link over to that, and you can swipe up and just follow along on Spotify. And in the meantime, great. In the meantime, I'm so grateful for all of you. I love reading all the comments, but I'm also trying to get through this fast. So I'm going to circle back and just thank you for being here. Truly, it means so much to us. We're really here for you. We're here for your cosmic revolution, to ignite it. If there's anything we can ever do for you, more content you want to see, slide into our DMs. And definitely just be sure, if you're new here, explore. We have a ton of free resources to help you on your cosmic empowerment journey. So I'm sending you all the freaking love in my heart. I'm sending you all the freaking stardust of the whole universe. And I'm sending you the biggest, juiciest full moon blessings. All right, so until next time, bye everyone.